thing I wanted to tell you, I'm sure you've heard a billion different ridiculous stories.
A billion and one.
Here's a billion and two. I had a bucket list when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know, kids have diaries. And on my list, climb Mount Everest, visit Antarctica, go to the moon, meet Wil Wheaton. Way down the list was meet William Shatner.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, I met William Shatner. He actually pulled me up on stage for a bear hug. Sorry, I guess my experience after your first experiences. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
Right, right. Well, you clearly provided balance in the universe.
But I finally got to meet you, so now I guess I can check another one off my list, so thank you.
Oh, awesome.
I tried to meet you on the same I'll be able.
Hi.
Hi. It took me since Friday afternoon, but I finally figured out a question for you.
Wow, that's a long time.
Well, I asked Amy and I asked Robin, and I thought it was a little unfair that I didn't ask you anything. The cosplayer back there that was wearing your very nice gray outfit.
Right.
What is up with the butt flap thing?
I have no idea. I think it's supposed to look like trousers or something.
It's did they not have a hook and eye back there?
Apparently they don't have hook and eye in a t-shirt.
I mean, not that I would always.
It's part of the hook and eye war. Try to act surprised. Do not try to change the future, guys.
I mean, it's not like I was in the picture, but all the time. It was just kind of there, and you couldn't help it.
Yeah, I know. It draws your attention. Right. Yeah. I know. I feel the same way about boobs. Hi, Jen from Big Rex. Are you here, really? No, she's not. Oh, she's there! You're awesome.
I should get a mention for that. As my first crush, I was wondering if you would sign my boot.
Does anybody say no to that?
Where is a damn Sharpie when you need one? Oh, she's got one.
Wait, hold on. You're talking to me right now.
You, buddy, you.
Garrett, I'm going to be right back.
Go right ahead. Wow. Second Sunday.
Talk about somebody you don't want to follow in line. You flew the real Starship Enterprise D.
I did.
And you have
I
gone.
parked it too.
That's
hard to do. Right?
And you went to Star Trek Experience in Vegas.
Yes.
You've written about that. Why don't you talk a little bit about that? And do you happen to know what's happened to that?
I understand that what remains of Star Trek The Experience is currently being watched over by top men. Top men. You were there, actually, the first time I wrote Star Trek The Experience. Yes, and it was very much an experience for me. It was a very emotional experience for me. For normal people, going on Star Trek The Experience is like, wow, neat, I get to go onto the Enterprise. But for me, it was like, wow, I get to walk into the closest thing to a holodeck recreation of me being a teenager. And I was overwhelmed by nostalgia, and it was beautiful, and it was incredibly emotional, surprisingly emotional for me to stand there and see all of that. I wrote about it in Just a Geek, and it's in Dancing Barefoot too. Rather than recount the entire story, I would encourage you to buy my book.
Was the replica
The
exact?
story is, it was really close.
Yeah.
It was a little bit larger in areas just like to accommodate more people.
Got it.
Like the graphics were all correct, and the fundamental dimensions were accurate. I recommend the audio version of Just a Geek, because then I get to tell you the story.
Great.
Hello.
Hello.
I just wanted to know, what are your thoughts or concerns about the state of science education in the public schools today?
I think it's an absolute travesty that there is a popular movement in America. We seem to be alone in the world in this way, sort of making science something that is something that, like, we should doubt science. And being smart is, well, then you're an elitist, and that's not a good thing. And it concerns me greatly. The rest of the world is going to pass us, and we're going to be sort of, picking up trash behind China and India, and wondering why why smart people don't want to work in America anymore. And it is one of the reasons that I absolutely despise the modern, conservative movement, because it's not about conserving anything. We spend more on tax breaks for multimillionaires than we do on NASA. Okay, Congress.
And
Will, a heck of a job, you guys.
well, if it goes to hell, if it all goes to hell, I have a lot of hookups in China. Just so you know.
And in Jordan, apparently.
Next question.
First of all, sir, I'd like to say that you will look a lot more like what I expect to look like when I grow up than what Commander Riker came up with when he was Q.
I know, right? Commander Riker gets the Q powers, and then he's like, Wesley, I'm going to give you your greatest wish. And Wesley's like, all right, Counselor Troy, let's go. And then Riker's like, here, I'm going to turn you into a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, barrel-chested dreamboat. And Wesley's like, what the fuck? I think that has less with it being Wesley's fondest wish, and more to it having to do with it being the costume designer's fondest wish.
Well, speaking of costumes, you asked me whether or not this was the most uncomfortable thing I ever wore. Truth is, when I made my first mock-up, it was.
Yeah?
So I fixed it. Why
But
was
it's not authentic.
Sorry! I have to walk that around in all day and I don't have a fleece to... then no one would know what I was.
Right.
Except for maybe you.
Right.
So why was it so uncomfortable? What exactly was so uncomfortable about it? Was the rainbow sweater better or worse? And did it finally get better when you got your own Starfleet uniform?
Oh man, getting my own Starfleet uniform was the greatest thing ever. It was really awesome. I've written about this in books before. There are times, Star Trek was a great experience for me, and there were times when it was the greatest thing in the world, and there were times where I just wanted to go home, and there were times where I was like, well, great, now I've missed the first period of a hockey game. I really wish we would shoot this scene on the bridge so I can go and watch the rest of it, because at the end of the day, it was my job. But I think of everyone, I like to pretend. I mean, I love that. I love that our job is to make believe. Like, every day I go to work, I look forward to work every single day because I get to pretend to do something cool. When I got to put on a real Star Trek uniform, and I got to sit down and do the actual, Picard maneuver stuff. It was such a great experience for me. I was so excited about that. And I had the same level of excitement when I first put on we call it Leslie's Gay Pride rainbow sweatshirt. Because it got me out of those sweaters that I hated so much. I mean, the sweaters were ugly. It was 1989. I was like, why don't they have neon pink gotcha sweaters and acid wash pants? Come on. And why doesn't Leslie wear 11 swatches? Because that's cool. Why can't my jeans be even higher waisted? Listen, kids, I'm going to do you a favor, okay? Listen to Old Man Wheaton for a bonfire, make a kindling out of the pajama jeans, and then put your 80s clothes on it, light fuse, and get away. I hated that spacesuit because it was just like, the whole point of it was to be tight, you know? And to like never have a line on it, because there's no wrinkles in the future. And no zippers. And it was just really, really hot. So, that was why. No, it wasn't. Robin Ford's in here. That sounds like something Robin would say. And also, the other thing that I really hated about that was I hated Wesley's blonde hairdo. I know. A lot of people like it, and there's like a graphic online that you can see. It's like, check out Wesley Crusher's sweet ass mother effing bouffant hairdo. He wears it like a boss or whatever, and it's great. I love it. Like that made having the hairdo worth it. But that was all about hairspray. To this day, I cannot smell Sebastian Haig's shaper hairspray without throwing up in my mouth.
That's the same hairspray they used on me. Sebastian shaper hairspray.
Sebastian's got a kickback.
The big white color giant white hair.
There's a whole layer.
Yes.